But in this video I just wanted to do an unboxing, and later on I'm going to make in-depth reviews about certain parts because there is so much to talk about. So first of all, when you're looking at the kit, you're going to get everything that you're going to need. Pandora's box is an all-inclusive kit, or particularly this retro shooter Pandora's box. Pandora's box stands for different kind of system I've reviewed here in the past. It's more like a keyword than it in my opinion means, because this is just a completely different story. Then we're going to get ourselves the red and the blue color gun. Let me know in the comments what do you think of the colors, or do you prefer to have black versions. Nevertheless, everything has been, let's say, inside the box when it comes to the blue light gun. Let's peel this freaking thing out. What we're also going to get in the kit is the pedal. Oh yep, and this thing is a very nice pedal. It's made out of plastic. I have seen like metal version that look even more cooler. But yeah, for this more like this complete deluxe and cheap kit, it's great. We can play Time Crisis and some copper games how they just intended to be, like with a pedal. So I think it's very cool. So in here we're also going to get the system itself. Then we're going to get ourselves the PlayStation 2 controllers. The first thing that we need to do is of course the smelly test. An very interesting thing, they also implement this in cheaper kits, that we're going to get actually like NES controls. And it's kind of interesting. I have never seen them doing this. So yeah, we're only having a 4-button configuration. I'm guessing if you just want to play some old school 8-bit and PC Engine, you're just going to use these controls. And I mean, we have reviewed a couple of these game boxes back in the day, but this is something completely unique and different. This is not your typical, let's say, emulation box or another box where they're slapping some software on. This is something completely like unique. We're going to get 3 USB ports over here. Then we're going to get an HDMI port. The what? The Ethernet. Okay, you mean the RG45. Here we're going to find ourselves the SD card. Let's see what kind of quality they're using. Seems to be there's not like a brand on there, so always back up these things. So when it comes to the receivers that we're going to need to use, when it comes to the old school NES, we're going to get 2 controllers and the 2 receiver configuration. But if you're going to use yourself the PlayStation version, let's call it that, you're going to get 2 controllers and 1 receiver configuration. So I already mentioned before, and I've shown you, but let's remove this part. So here you can see in the inside, we're going to get the PCB that connects to the front part. I think it's quite genius, to be honest, that they made it like that, so we can just slide it in very carefully. And we're going to put in the torque screws. Let's see if they're going to be working. For keeping the box quite cool, they implemented a fan, and I can tell you, it does sound like a freaking vacuum cleaner. But let's talk about the menu itself. It's a menu that has a lot of new features. Features we also seen with previous Pandora's boxes. So I'm just going to be honest, there is nothing to complain here. To begin with, I'm pressing start on the controller. We're going to get this extra menu here at the right. They're having recently, we can even search. We have first alphabetic order, first alphabetic order, okay, whatever. Then of course 3D game. 3 or 4 players, and this is quite cool if you want to connect 4 players or 4 controllers to the system, and yep, that is possible. Light guns have their own game list, and here having the category system that we have seen before, but Pandora's Box 6 was one of the first ones they had this. So when it comes to this, there is nothing to complain in my opinion. So if you want to go selecting, let's say Sega Dreamcast, you're pressing the A button, and here having all the single, let's say Dreamcast games, only one. Seems to be one of them on there, but okay. Pressing start again will bring you back to the menu. So the way how it actually works is pretty convenient. And I must say that they did an amazing job. And after complaining for quite a long time now, there is somebody finally listening to me and not messing it up for once. So one of the changes they made, just let's say a minor changes can have such a big difference when it comes to the overall experience. So first of all, when you're looking at it over here, it shows what kind of category or what kind of game it is. This is a sports game, a light gun game, but here at the side it also shows what kind of platform. So the only downside, and I find it a really big downside, that this tiny hole over here, you need to find yourself a special, let's say, tiny screwdriver or something to poke it. Because underneath, if you're going to press it, we're going to get into the special settings menu. And of course, every single game will have a quick preview at the right side. And I think it's very cool that they still implement this feature in the later Pandora's boxes. When scrolling through the games, you can see how super fast it will scroll through the next, let's say, tiny video. And there is no big delay in this. But also the loading times are significantly faster. For example, when you're having Mortal Kombat 1 that loaded so freaking long when it comes to some Pandora's boxes, they managed to fix it. Here we're going to get ourselves the options. But the weird thing is, one of the things they still didn't fix, where you cannot make a quick load, quick save at every single game. Yep, this is a main game, but you have the console configuration, but also when it comes to the aspect ratio, this option is not here, because that's one of the features they did promise. Let's go back to Mortal Kombat, and here we don't have the quick load, quick save, but we do have the game scale, screen scale 16:9, and we can put it to 4:3 if we want to. The next test I wanted to try out is some MAME with Mortal Kombat 1. Take consideration that Killer Instinct will not run on this box, because that is way too demanding. The same goes for the Tekken MAME games. But I just wanted to see if they mess up Mortal Kombat, but they didn't. Next up I wanted to try out some PlayStation Portable, just to see how it actually is going to be running.
Get ready for the next round.
So with the previous Pandora's boxes, they were running on old emulators and had a lot of struggles. But let's see. Yeah, it still struggles in the beginning. It has been set to low resolution, so far I can see. We cannot look into the emulator itself. What I find a very nice addition to this particular version, every single time you go into a fighting game, so far I've tested it out, you're going to get yourself just instantly into the menu and it skips everything. So let's check out if we're going to get any glitching going on over here. Nope, seems to be working just fine. The only thing I wanted to check out, how will the overall performance be? Are we going to get a lot of glitching? Oh, you can hear that it struggles big time. Yep, we do have some minor glitching, but it struggles with absolute N64, like always. And if you do wonder, yep, you can change out the aspect ratio when it comes to also the N64 games. There are many improvements when it comes to this new retro shooter Pandora's box, and yep, it's quite interesting too. But we'll just scrape the surface when it comes to this. So later on I will make an in-depth video about everything that we're going to find on this, and just to see actually what are we going to get with every single, like say, emulation performance. So let me know in the comments what kind of stuff would you like to see. So let's take a close look at the light gun and everything around it. I just want to do just a quick overview what are we actually going to get inside the package itself. Everything when it comes to, of course, the cabling. The sensor that you need to put on your monitor needs to be left and right in the corners. And at the back we're going to get ourselves two connections over here. So you can choose to basically use one cable that goes to, let's say, the Pandora's box itself for giving this thing some power. Or you can just like link them. Seems more like a daisy link chain. Nevertheless, we're also going to do an in-depth video about this, but for now, let's take a close look at the retro shooter Pandora's box. And when it comes to this, I already shown you need to assemble it with 4 screws, nothing very interesting. But the overall, let's see how comfortable it is. I really like it. The grip is great. I'm just going to be honest with that. It is amazing, to be honest. So here in the middle, we're going to get ourselves some extra grip, and the same goes at the front. So holding it, it's very comfortable. So overall, when you're looking at the micro carriage, it is very nice. And we do have a little bit of travel, but it is minimal. And I think you're not going to be noticing it at all. So at the left, we're going to get 2 buttons over here for selection. And at the right, we're going to get another one, a big one. And then where they made the choice to add a joystick. And the joystick is going to be super convenient because you can navigate through the menu. And yep, you can just use this light gun alone. Just navigate through the menu, choosing your game and just play. So in the kit itself, they are giving me the pedal. The pedal, I don't know, I'm very curious what they will do in the future if they're going to make like a metal part of. That is something we need to see. It does have a very nice tension to it. But you can see over here, I need to put quite some force. But the overall quality is very nice. I tried it out with Time Crisis and that was absolutely great. This is something you do miss with a lot of different brands. And with the retro shooter, you do have the option to get yourself in a kit, or some maybe in the future we're going to do differently, but you're going to get yourself a pedal. So the cabling, I can tell you it's going to be a freaking cable nightmare, but not like a nightmare and a bad thing. So first of all, when you're looking at the way how you need to connect it, it's going to be super easy. First of all, we're going to get just three cables. So the particular first one you're seeing over here, this one is going to be for the pedal. You're just going to plug it into the system. Then over here, the power, the 12 volt that we're going to get ourselves from the box itself. You just plug it in for the recoil. And then of course the USB for connecting the light gun itself. Okay, so we have set up the sensor itself. Both of them we need to be in the corner for the best optimal, let's say, way to play. You're just pressing the button, both of them over here, for turning it on. You can see the LED turns on, so this is an indication that the LED function should be working. So everything has been set up. It will be plugging in into the box itself over here, and that's basically what we're going to get. So that's set up. Let's take a close look at the light gun itself now. Yeah, so don't need to set it up. What you can do is pressing B over here. This is B. And going back to the main menu. So if you just want to go into the menu again, of course you can plug it in and out if needed. It will go back to the light gun feature option where we can mess around with it. But when it comes to light gun, there are so many different kinds of technology, but also qualities. I already mentioned before that the grip is absolutely great. But when it comes to the solenoid, it's a different kind of version we have seen with previous videos. Think about the Gunfire and the Sinden. So it's also having a different feel. You have the spring that you can just feel. But when you're listening to the sound itself, yep, it just feels and sounds actually like I'm showing you. But when it comes to the experience, when you're just playing and you want to fire rapidly, it's going to be no problem whatsoever. And that is what I really like about the light gun itself. And that is for when you're playing certain games that you have rapid fire. That is absolutely great. And the solenoid is a very cool add-on to this. So one of the things that make me really happy with devices like these, if you just want to navigate through the menu itself, you can just use the light gun. And this is absolutely great. So we're going to have like A and B and everything have been set to the certain positions. Over here at the left button, I'm going to choose the special menu where we're going to do the light guns. Select it by shooting, and here we're having every single game that you want to play. This is super convenient and very quickly. So let's start with a couple of games and let's have some fun. Let's go. Okay, so let's start with the PlayStation game, and I can tell you out of the box, it seems to be working just fine. I need to get you the light gun. Of course, I need to have the right distance. I know there are some modified versions out there that they putting lenses on it. There's something I wanted to try in the future just to see how accurate it's going to be. But okay, so let's see. We want to go back to the main menu itself. So we need to do holding the button, because it's actually the start button that we're going to grant us the access getting into the menu itself. And next up, let's go to the exit. So of course one of the games that we need to try is Time Crisis for the PlayStation. That is not the main version. Okay, so let's see how the overall emulation performance is. See, this is kind of weird. The music is not like it should be. Or this is a different version. It doesn't matter, let's get into action and let's see how this pedal seems to be working. There we go. Geronimo!
Action! Reload!
So when it comes to crosshair, you can just turn it on and off from the menu itself. So I'll give you an example how it will look if you're going to play this with the crosshair. It's going to be different, of course, an experience, but again, if you want to have the cheating crosshair on, you can do that. There you can see, you can just actually play like that. Makes the game playing way easier. So as making this video, this is the first released version, and there will be updates coming in the future. That is what they promised me. I'm hoping this because there were a lot of things that I didn't like. Stuff that I've seen with previous Pandora's box when it comes to problems with emulators. But the overall experience, yeah, also for the money we can't complain. They are delivering quite a, let's say, incomplete kit where you can have like light guns, controllers and have hours of fun. It's not like top notch. We have seen many different products here on the channel. Consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments also what kind of games you want to see running on this, because I want to go in depth in this more and more, because there is so much we can talk about, but we just barely scratched the surface. I want to give you like an overall impression unboxing about it. Thank you all for watching, and it would be great to see you in the next video.